did everything kind of go wrong?
I just wasn't playing well. I think the guys were doing a great job getting open and stuff, and I just wasn't able to throw on the ball and get it to them accurate, and just weren't able to move it because of that.
Junior, on your end, obviously you're missing a bunch of guys on defense. But what kind of happened on the defensive side that allowed them to kind of run all over you?
Man, just not playing well all around.
Cam, was there any talk at halftime, given your struggles, for you to potentially be pulled out of the game, or was there none of that?
You can ask Coach.
Where do you guys feel like you go from now? I know this is, back-to-back losses. It's tough.
One game at a time. Just one game at a time from here. That's about it.
A very similar conversation to what we had after the Arizona game. Got out-rushed. We were awful in the red zone. I lost the turnover margin. Missed a bunch of tackles. And so, unfortunately, and very disappointingly, it's the same storyline. And as long as we have our woes in the red zone, we may not win another game this season until we get it fixed. That's how important it is. It was not due to lack of time spent on it. Tripled the practice amount of time over the last 2 weeks. And again, very disappointing that we didn't see better results. You cannot win football games, rarely if ever, with a bunch of field goals. You just can't. It just doesn't work. We had 4 field goals, and that's as negative as it is a positive, because you can't win kicking field goals as a general rule. And so we've got a work cut out for us. We're a good football team. I firmly believe that. But again, shame on us for having the same storyline 2 games in a row. And give them credit. The tailback was tremendous. Number 4, Scatabo. Well over 150 plus yards, I think he had. Made some nice plays on defense at times. Mekhi Bernard had a terrific game for us, nearly 200 yards of total offense. So there were some positives, but again, it goes back to the same dialogue I had after the Arizona game, and the same problems and the same things that we've got to address and work on even more. And that's where we're at. So, questions?
Kyle, obviously you get Cam back, but was there any conversation maybe at halftime, knowing that he was injured, to switch it up? Or?
No, he wanted to play, and he felt very strongly that he wanted to stay in the game. And he's won a bunch of ball games for us. It was very apparent that he's not at 100%, but it's coaching decision to decide who gives you the best chance to win the game, and that's who you put in there. And like I said, Cam has been terrific for us in the past, and you can see the rust. It was 3 weeks off, 4 weeks, whatever it's been. But he's a heck of a quarterback, and he'll bounce back.
Kyle, was it issues with his hand for the missed throws, or he took a hit there on that first drive?
Yeah, he got rolled up on, and it really a lower leg injury that limited his mobility for the rest of the game. And of course, he's wearing the glove, so he can increase the grip, help the grip on the football. So that's he's banged up.
Was it more the hand, or was it more the leg?
I'll have to ask him. Tomorrow we'll have a conversation and find out. But he was adamant about wanting to go. He wanted to go. He's a competitor. He's a very competitive kid.
Considering the 2 losses now and the new injury to Rising, how much do you now weigh the balance with Isaac?
We'll have a lot more information and a lot more idea of how Cam feels tomorrow and the next day. Usually you can play through those things with adrenaline during the heat of the battle, but it's the next day or the day after when they really start to manifest how significant it is, or isn't, as the case may be. So that decision will be made as we move forward.
You had a bunch of guys out on the defense, but where are you seeing maybe the lapses that allowed for them to be able to run all over you?
Yeah, we run some zone pressures, and some of our slant guys got cut off. And when that happens, there's dead gaps, and that back is as good as any back that we faced of finding those gaps. And so, and yeah, but injuries are part of the game. I mean, we had guys out, but the guys that are in there have got to get the job done, and that was it. The majority of those runs that popped were on zone pressures. Not all of them, but the majority that we either lost the edge or lost an interior gap by getting cut off.
You worked on tackling in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
How would you rate the tackling performance?
Not good. Not good. It seemed like we missed 20 tackles tonight. Now, you know, it probably won't be that many, but we are typically a single-digit missed tackle team week in and week out. And we had 13 or 14 against Arizona, and I bet we had more than that this game. We worked on tackling in the bye week. You know, we had full gear practices the week that we didn't have a game, and worked on tackling, worked on red zone. And it's not for lack of work. It's not for lack of work.
There was some fans that rushed the field after the game, and it seemed like there was some interactions between players and some of the students that ran onto the field. Was there any frustrations on your end on how?
I didn't see that.
Okay.
I didn't notice that. I hope there was no physical altercations or anything like that. Is that what you're saying? There was?
No, just
Oh.
like taunting and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. If you win the game, you deserve to taunt. You just got to own it. Just, you know, we got beat, so part of the deal.
Kyle, obviously there's a lot of emotions from your team, 2 back-to-back losses and stuff. How do you kind of regroup from that? I mean, what do you kind of do as a coach?
Well, you certainly lean on your leadership, your seniors, captains. Got to be better as coaches. We got out-coached tonight, no doubt about it. And we've all got to. Again, it's very similar to what I said 2 weeks ago. We got to find out, each and every one of us, what we can do to be better as coaches, as players, how we can improve. We know our deficiencies. I guess that's a positive, but we haven't seemed to be able to get them rectified.
Final question?
You mentioned a lot about the red zone offense struggling. Obviously, with Cam back in the lineup, the struggles were still there. How much of the blame do you place on the play calling in that avenue?
Blame me. Put it all on me. I'll take all the blame for the red zone. So that's where the blame goes. Thanks, guys.